Hey there everybody, it's your girl Barbie J here, and I am doing a review on this crazy Tyler Perry movie that everybody has seen already. I actually watched the movie over 2 weeks ago when it first came out, but I just didn't know what to say about it. I didn't know what to say. The only thing I can say right now is it was better than Mea Culpa. And that's not saying a lot. That's right, Mea Culpa that with Kelly Rowland. It was better than that. So let's jump right in with my little 2 cents about this movie.
Divorce in the Black.
Okay, so I have no idea about this title, Divorce in the Black. What does that mean? Can somebody please explain it to me? What is it, black people who got divorced? That's every day. I mean, who's in the black? Was it a financial thing? Who's in the black? Is it I don't know, a metaphor for something? I mean, what does that mean? Does anybody have any idea why it's divorce in the black? Was Ava in the black thinking that she could change him or something? She tried to change him. That was one of his Dallas's biggest concerns. He kept saying, "She trying to change me. You trying to change me. Now I'm gonna be who I am." And da 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 da. Yeah, cuckoo crazy. You can stay cuckoo crazy because that's what you was. You, your mama, and your brothers. I'm sorry, but that's what it was. Anyway. Okay, everybody, after recording this video, I found a scene in the movie that basically explains why the movie is titled Divorce in the Black. Check this out.
I didn't realize how deep in the red I was. When this divorce is over, I want to be in the black.
So there you have it. Moving right along. Okay, so Divorce in the Black. I just don't know what era it was taken in. I can't get past the sideburns that Corey Hardwick had on. Hey, those sideburns was killing me. They were killing me. What is going on? Okay, so let me just give you the basic information. And I'm not even worried about spoiler alerts because y'all should have heard it all by now. Everybody and their mother did a review on this movie, okay? Oof, it's hot in here. I should have been did this review. But I'm going to do it now. My friend keep asking me, when you going to do your review? And people keep calling me, when you going to do your review? It's because I don't know what to do and say. I was going to act it out. I had a wig and everything. I was going to act out the mother. I was going to act out the brothers. I was going to do everything so it could be funny, so I could have fun. Because it wasn't really a drama. Well, was it a suspense drama? Or was it a comedy suspense drama? You know what I mean? So we got Megan Good. She played Ava. We have Corey Hardwick. He played Dallas. They were married. They were a couple. Then we have Joseph Lee Anderson, Benji. That was one of Ava's old boyfriends who came back into the picture after things were going bad with Dallas. Then we have, what's her name? Shannon Wallace. That was Jim. Jim was a friend of Dallas. He was one of Dallas's good friends. He was a weak character. He was very weak. And we had Taylor Williams, who played Rona. She was a good friend of Ava. So Ava and Rona were good friends. Dallas and Jim were good friends. Jim, I don't know if y'all saw this movie. Jim wasn't worth 2 cents as a friend. He was a punk. He was weak. His wife had more heart than he did. He sat there while Dallas called his wife out her name and other things. Okay, you got one more time to say that. Okay, come on, man. Why you gonna do that? Come on, man. I was like, oh my God, I want to smack up myself. Get some balls. What? Do I have any balls? I was gonna get some balls and juggle them. The man had no balls. I got more balls than he do. Come on. So let's start with the first scene. Oh wait, Richard Lawson played Clarence. That was Ava's father. And Debbie Morgan, my girl, played Jean, who was Ava's mother. Okay. Let's talk about this first scene when it starts off in a church at a funeral. And it happens to be Dallas's brother who's being buried. And what seems to have happened is Ava wanted her brother-in-law to have a decent funeral, so she asked her parents to do the funeral, and they paid for the casket and everything else, whatever. The father gets up there and gives the eulogy, and then it's like he can't help himself. He can't help himself. He starts in with the, you know, he gave a Bible scripture. I had it all written down, but I don't know where I put all of that because I don't have my notes with me, all of them. But he gave a Bible scripture, and he said, you know what it means? He broke down the Bible scripture. Then he told everybody that he basically said there's a hot place in hell for their brother. I said, what? He was like the man. He got shot by an elderly woman he was trying to rob. I said, oh. He said, your whole family be terrorizing all them boys. You didn't raise your kids right. They be terrorizing the whole neighborhood. You know what I'm talking about. I mean, the church was like, ooh, and I, and oh, and I'm like, why did Clarence do this? I'm like, didn't he know that they was going to blame his daughter? You know your daughter is in that family. She asked you to do this, and then you tear the family to shreds. The mother got up. You're not going to talk about me in front of my face. And she got mad and pulled off her hat and said, you can take your stuff. I don't need nothing from you. Y'all don't need nothing from none of y'all. Y'all all be in this church talking about me. I mean, she went off and she said, y'all can have your stuff. And she started throwing it. She took off her dress and pulled it all up over her head. And she took it, and all she had on is a full slip. You can't even find those in the store no more. You can't find them along with half slips. And she threw the dress up there into the pulpit, and Peacher caught it. She said, I don't need nothing from y'all. Y'all pay for that cat. She told the boys, get your brother. And they were over there for them to get the body and stuff. And she was like, not the casket. Get him out. They were like, but Mama, what? She was like, get him out. I was like, oh my gosh. She went and had them open the casket and get the body out. Everybody's like, oh my God, what is she doing? Oh my Lord. I mean, that probably was the best part of the whole movie. I think that was the best part of the whole movie. That was the comedy part. It was disturbing. It was absolutely disturbing to watch. And so this movie goes on and on and on. Dallas blames his wife. The mother blames Ava. They all are blaming her. You knew he was going to do this. You said he would get a good funeral. You said this, you said that. She said, I just wanted them to have a decent burial, but you said your father was going to say nice things and he didn't. Oh my God. Husband didn't want to speak to her no more. They got into a big fight about it. It was ridiculous. They went and buried him in the backyard, just how they had planned to, in their backyard. I gotta laugh. You gotta laugh at this. You basically almost knew what was going to happen as each scene happened. It was just like, really, Tyler? Really, we doing this now? This what we doing, Tyler? I'm like, I don't think he spends a lot of time on these movies anymore. I think maybe I need to write a movie and just mail it into him. Maybe he'll put it out because it just wasn't making any sense. So anyway, back to the show. Ava worked at a bank, and so did Rona. They worked at a bank. I'm sure I don't know what the other two did. I can't remember what Jim and Dallas did. Maybe Dallas worked on the farm. I don't know. But he's supposed to have been the decent one out of the boys, out of the family. That lady had 5 boys. One of them was dead. Then it was Dallas. Dallas, like I said, blamed his wife. He got mad. All of a sudden, he wants a divorce. He wants a divorce. And, you know, it's just like all these little things happening back and forth. She's fighting for her marriage. She doesn't want a divorce. She wants him. She just kept wanting to calm him down. And she just wanted to love him. And she just wanted to hold him. She just wanted to make it work. And she told her parents, it's because of you and the way your marriage and what you taught me, how you're supposed to stick with your marriage and blah, blah, blah. I was like, oh, but Jesus, help me, Lord, help me, Lord. You know, so, I mean, there's a lot of stuff on it in the middle that doesn't matter. I mean, when he asked for a divorce, it was in the middle of them at a restaurant eating with their friends, and he gets loud. He told her, okay, he said, remember, we having dinner with such and such and such and such. Talking about Jim and Rona. We're going to have dinner with them. Okay. She said, give me 20 minutes. I'll get showered and everything. She said, we don't have to meet them until like 7 or something. And it was like 5:30. She's like, so give me 20 minutes. She finished in 15, said, okay, I'm done. When she came out of the shower, dressed and everything, he left her. Dallas left her. Dallas is freaking nuts. He's like, she would take it to, he shows up to the restaurant. They're like, where's Ava? She was taking too long. He was like, you left her? You left your wife? Come on, dude, you left her? And Rona jumps up to go and call. His friend is like, yo, man, really? Yo, man, really? So Ava 5 shows up finally. And she's like, dang, Dallas, she finished 5 minutes early. That man left. Not to mention, dinner wasn't for another hour and a half or whatever it was. I just, he has something mentally wrong with him. Dallas definitely had something mentally wrong with him. And, you know, part of it came out in the movie. You could see that something was wrong with him because when he asked her for a divorce, Rona said she needs to fight him and get whatever she can from him and take him for whatever he got. Ava looked at Rona and said, what do you got? What do you got? He ain't got nothing. He ain't got nothing. So she said, I don't want nothing from him. That's it. Because she went and ran to her parents' house. Her parents live about an hour away. How in the movie that they keep running back and forth to the parents' house like it ain't nothing? Like it's a short ride. I think it was over an hour. It was like over an hour, like an hour and a half away. It was crazy. But that's where she went to her parents' house after he asked for a divorce and cried and cried and cried. And God was trying to get him out of her system. And the parents was trying to help by bringing Benji back around. They had Benji showing up for this and Benji showing up for that. You know what I mean? Then Benji ended up at this carnival.
Honestly, I never liked the way he treated you. I always thought you were too good for him.
She goes over to Benji and sees his child. He has a child because he's gotten divorced from his wife. And now Ava said, can we go for a walk? So Benji takes the daughter back to the mother and they go for a walk. They end up going for a ride somewhere. And Ava proceeds to want to drink and have sex with him. And Benji wouldn't do it. I'm proud of Benji. He wanted her to be in her right mind. He didn't want to be some kind of rebound type person. He didn't want that. And he wanted her to be sure what she wanted to do. And he told us, taking all his strength, not to take her right now because he wanted it bad. He wanted it bad. And he was a farmer. He had a farm with all these animals and stuff, you know. So that's what Benji did. He stayed living in the town or wherever. He was a nice guy. He was a real nice guy and respectable. So like I said, he kept showing up to different things. Anyway, back to the divorce. Ava decides, I'm going to sign the papers and be done. You should get an attorney. She said, I don't want no attorney. So Rona's husband must have been an attorney because he was sitting on the side of the table. I don't know, because he was sitting on the side of the table with Dallas at the divorce signing. And Rona was there with Ava, and Ava just was like, I don't need an attorney. Where do I sign? They said, where's your attorney? I don't have an attorney.
To be with you, that you haven't met the real me.
Miss, I can't let you sign this without having an attorney. She said, I don't have an attorney. Let me just sign the paper. He wanted a divorce. I'm done. I'm done. So she signed the papers and everything. And he goes, look at that. She'll sign the papers just like that. I told you she was messing around all this time. I told you, see how easy she gave me up. You see how I was sitting there going, what the fuck? What the fuck? She was begging him to stay. She did not want a divorce. She didn't want it. He forced her and basically threatened her. Sign the damn paper. He wanted her to sign it. And when she signed it, then he said she was cheating on him. You can't make this stuff up. Just watch it. Just watch it. You can't make it up. I'm sorry, you can't make it up. And so now she's divorced. And she has the house. Benji comes over. Did Benji come over that first night? I guess Benji came over, yeah. And he was up in the bed. I don't think they did anything that first night. Did they? They might have. But I know 2 times he had turned her down. They might have done something. He was in the bed. When she got up that morning to go downstairs to make breakfast, Dallas is sitting in there with a bowl of cereal, eating with them damn sideburns. The sideburns, y'all. He's sitting there eating a bowl of cereal. And she's like,
ain't you glad to see me?
And she's like, what are you doing? And he was like, he wants to go upstairs. He goes upstairs, and she's telling him no. And he goes up there, and Benji's in there in the bedroom. They get into a big old fight. Benji whoops that ass. He whoops that ass. Knocked him out. Knocked him out. Because, see, they beat him up when he was younger, when Benji was younger and dating Ava. And he ended up getting, Dallas and his brothers beat him up. See, they little punks because they beat up people in a group. And remember, it was 5 brothers. So, now he's knocked out. Ava gets this strength out of nowhere when you just freaking fed up. I'm done. I'm fed up. Don't say nothing else to me. And she proceeds to drag his butt out of the house. She dragged him down the steps. She was pulling, and Benji was looking at her like, whoa, what the what? What? He was shocked. She dragged him down the steps, dragged him out on the porch, and threw him into the yard. And she was like done. She had said, Benji, help me get him off the porch. And she said, just stay in the house. I'm tired of you. But he was knocked out on the ground. And somehow I think Benji put him up in his car because, in his truck, in Dallas's own truck, because when Dallas woke up, he was sitting in his car. I was like, damn, the strength you get when you just freaking fed up is ridiculous. She said, I'm So now Dallas is upset. Dallas is really upset now because after the divorce, Rona threw Ava a divorce party. Surprised her, asked her to come to the house. And who was there? Benji was there. A lot of people she knew was there. And they had strippers there. It was a party. Everybody was having a good time. Who shows up that night sitting outside in his truck looking for Jim? Jim is like, no, man, you can't come in. Why I can't come in? You can't come in, man. No. Well, you having a party? Yeah, we having a party. So, but you having a party with Ava? And he mad now. Because then he find out that Benji's there too. Jim is telling him he need to go home. Dallas, you need to just go. You're not coming in. Man, you can't come in. You got to go. Dallas was pissed. You freaking traitor. You on her side. Da, 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 da. You know. So, he had him leave. That might be the night. Then I think the next day is that's when Benji ended up spending the night. Okay, that's when Benji spent the night. I'm sorry, y'all. Like I said, I saw it over 2 weeks ago, and I'm just now doing it. I got like 6 lines of notes And that's it. So I don't remember everything that happened, but that was the basic stuff that happened. And now Dallas is mad. So what he goes and do is start messing with everybody. He drives an hour and plus away to Ava's mother's house, and with the town they live in, and he sees her in the supermarket. He said, oh, it's like regular clockwork. You know, you every Friday you hear something like that at 5 o'clock you go shopping or whatever it was. And she's like, what are you doing here? What? And he kind of grabbed on her and was bothering her. She's like, get off me. You're sick. You better get away from me. You better stop it. Oh, she go running out the supermarket and stuff and getting away. He finally left her alone. She didn't want to tell her husband about it. She didn't want to tell her husband about it because she knows her husband. Because her husband, what he did was gave his daughter guns. At this point, you need this. He gave rifles. He gave about 3 guns to keep around the house in different places. And I said, oh, Daddy ain't playing. And Daddy the Reverend. Daddy's the Reverend. He was like, no, baby. I was like, you better go, Pops. So he go and he gives her guns and she have them hidden around in different places in the house or whatever. He gets home and finds out that his wife, he said, why didn't you tell me? That's it. I'm telling. She's like, what, Clarence? And he's like, you know he put his hands on you. They told me down at the supermarket. They called me and told me. She said, Clarence, leave it alone. Clarence, you know those older women from back in the day. We never wanted our husbands to go out there and get in trouble. You hear me? They didn't want their husbands to go out and get in trouble. Clarence, baby, just leave it alone, because the family's crazy. Clarence is like, you don't touch my wife. That's a man. Men are like, but you know what? That's the old school men. But you know what? When you do something like that and you know you got a family with a bunch of crazy people in it, you know, you need to go with backup and prepared. He go there with 2 shotguns, think he gonna do something. Where Dallas? Where your son at? She's like, get the hell off my property. The mother, get the hell off my property. What's wrong with you? She got a hand on her hip. You know, big lip. You better da-da-da-da-da and da-da-da-da-da. She doing all of that. And then he ain't looking. Dallas show up and he's like, got the gun. You gonna do this? You gonna touch my wife? And you gonna do this? You know he got 3 other brothers. Where you think they was? Rolling up behind him, whooped his butt. They whooped the Reverend's butt. They beat him down, put him in the hospital, left him on the ground, and then the mother said, and that's what you get. I told you not to get off my property. That's what you get. I said, oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. What kind of movie is this? Ain't no person in their right mind gonna go there by themselves knowing that that woman has 4 sons who are still alive, who have been terrorizing people in the town. You preached about it. Why would you go out there like that? So that's what he did. He ended up in the hospital. Then Benji gets a call from the sheriff to come back to his farm. All his animals are dead. Dallas and his brothers or whatever killed all his cattle. The majority of them. I don't think it was all of them, but the majority of them was laid dead. Benji was pissed. He was pissed. You know. I mean, so basically, Ava's mad now. You done mess with me. You done mess with my father. You put my father in the hospital. You put your hands on my mother. And you killed my man. Well, I don't know if he was considered her man now, but his cattle. I mean, you messing with my family. So she decides she gonna call him. She said, that's it. She calls him, tell him she gonna talk to him. And he comes in the house wanting to talk to him. And she's sitting all cool on the counter. And she's just saying any and everything to piss him off and push his buttons. She's just pushing buttons, ticking him off. Saying that Benji's a better lover. He's a better man. He's a this and that. And he did that with a pat, smacked her, whatever it was. And she was like, little punk. He just hit like a punk or whatever. And then he punched on her. Did he punch her and threw her on the floor or something like that? So she needed some bruises on her face. Bottom line, she needed bruises on her. He gave her a couple enough bruises. She said, you gave me just enough bruises. And he was like, what? And he was like, she's behind the counter now. She done got up and crawled around behind the counter. And he's looking at her like he's going to come at her. And she pulls out that gun and is like, like she ready. Oh, man, you ain't going to do nothing. He was like, what you going to do? You ain't going to do nothing. Because he said the same thing to the father, because the father didn't really want to shoot him. The father was mad, but the brothers beat him up from behind. See, that's punk. That's a punk move. That's what I'm saying. That's how terrible that family was. So anyway, he came towards her. She's like, I'm telling you, stop. And stop. And she like, pow, pow, shot him dead. Called the police. The police came because she had got an order of protection against him. He came to her job and made a scene and started yelling at her at his job. Okay, at her job. At her job, he's yelling at her in a bank in front of all these other people. And Rona was trying to get him out. He wasn't trying to leave. He was calling her biatches. He was nasty. You know, Rona called her husband again. Punk ass. He a punk too. So anyway. So she shot him down. That's it. The father is in the hospital. Was on life support. But now the father's better. Gotten better. He's finally leaving the hospital. They leaving. And who's there at the hospital but the mother and her other 3 sons? And she's like, you think this over? This ain't over. You think this over? This ain't over. Ava looked at her and said, if you know what's best for you, it need to be over. You know, both of your sons got killed trying to harm other people or something like that. She basically let her know, come on, lady. End it. This is what happens when you mess with good people and they get fed up. You mess with good people and they get fed up. This is what happens. And she walks away and they walk out the hospital. And I'm like, that was a stupid ending. You think that meant anything to that lady? All their lives, they've been terrorizing people in town. You think she cared because you said you mess with good people and that's what happened? I'm sure that old lady was a good person that they shot. People get tired and fed up. So that was the gist of the movie. You put down your 2 cents down in the comment section. Let me know what you thought about it. And for those of you who haven't subscribed to my channel as of yet, you may be new here, you may be returning, please take a moment right now, hit that subscribe button, then hit the notification bell, select all, and it'll let you know every time I upload any new content to this channel. Then I ask that you smash that like button, write a comment, and share, because sharing is caring. It's your girl Barbie J saying, I will see you all in the next video. Peace.